Hello, and welcome back to the Double on Radio Wrestlecast. I had the right one this time. As always, I'm your host, Ryan, and I'm joined by my lovely duo of co-hosts, Ryan.
Hi.
And Brit.
Hello.
We're back again. AEW is doing a pay-per-view, and we're going to take some prediction bets on this pay-per-view and talk about the current state of these feuds and what we like and what we don't like. Everyone excited, ready to go?
Of course.
Now, of course, before we start, I need to quiz you two. How many matches are on the card for this show, including the buy-in?
We have 12, I think, including the buy-in.
I was gonna go with 12 as well.
All right. Let's check. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're both correct. This is a stacked card. This is I think the biggest number of matches.
I think
there's
so.
Three buy-in matches. That's not normal. It's
And
usually like one or two.
it's because usually most of it is just like the same like video packages you see during the thing that they did during Rampage last night as a recording, where it's just like the road to But like all three matches, as we'll talk about, are like things that I want to watch for once in the buy-in, which is pretty. It's unusual in a very good way.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Our current predictions champion as of last episode is Ryan, who was ahead by 2 points, which means, Brett, you're getting the underdog's advantage here.
Oh, boy.
Which means you get to predict the first match, which is Hook versus QT Marshall.
Well.
Oh, man.
What a hard choice.
What a difficult choice. Who's going to win this match, Brett?
I mean, we don't really need much discussion for it. I think there's probably no question. I think Hook's probably going to win. But at the same time, I mean, this is AEW. Every so often they do pull the rug out from under you and surprise you with something you might not have expected. I could, there could be an alternate reality where QT wins by cheating and it continues the feud, something like that. But I'm going to side with my man, Hook. He's got the hair. He doesn't care. And he's going to win.
All right. I think it's a safe bet. Ryan, anything you want to put on this match? I'm going to ask you a couple questions, both of you, and both of you can answer these. And these are worth bonus points. First of all, if Hook gets QT with the red rum, how many seconds does it take for QT to tap out?
I'm going to go... So... I don't want to say instantaneous because, QT's a jobber, but he's still
he's a veteran.
He's semi-competent. I'm gonna go with 8 seconds. I think 8 seconds sounds good.
Brett, do you have a prediction for the amount of seconds?
I'm gonna keep within the single digits here because I really don't see it going further than that, and I'm just gonna say 3.
Okay.
Because I don't see him lasting very long in the red room.
Okay. All right. So after that, we're going to move on to our next buy-in match, which is Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander. This is one of those, I don't know if you two agree with me, but this is one of those weird women's division feuds that AEW does sometimes that just kind of happen over the course of 3 months. Intermittently.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then just end. So I'm curious to see if that's what's happening here. Or if this is actually going to go somewhere further than just the buy-in match.
I hope it does go further than this because I do like how even though it has been a bit smaller, there has been 3 concurrent women's feuds going on right now. So
yeah, definitely. All right, Ryan, who do you think is winning this match?
Ooh, okay. So I'm going to be operating my guess here under the assumption that this is not going to be the last time we see Layla and Chris in the ring together for this feud. So therefore, I'm going to be going with Layla getting the victory here over Chris Statlander. Because I feel like if this is just... Yeah, exactly. Give her some momentum. I feel like... Because I'm hoping it's not the end of the feud. They can go back and do it under a different rule set or whatever, and then maybe you have Chris win it there, and then you can push her up to a title thing. Or maybe, do the same thing with Layla, either or. But I feel like Layla's the heel. If you want more people to start to like believe in her, because Chris is already pretty popular. Layla, I think, just needs it a little bit more, especially just like to get over her the new personality change and I feel like having a victory here would do a lot for Layla more so than Chris, and then you can continue to go on with the feud from there, and eventually have Chris get the win back or do whatever you want from there. But I think I'm going with Layla here.
All right. Now, how many times do you two think that in this match Chris Statlander will kick out?
Ooh.
That's hard because a lot of the times there's just so many kickouts for transition. I'm gonna go with 4.
And I'll add, the ref needs to start a count. It doesn't need the hand doesn't have to hit the floor, but the ref has to start a count for it to be a kick out.
Okay. I think I'm still gonna go with 4, but I think Layla's gonna win via submission at the end of the day.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with 4 kickouts.
Yeah, it depends, because I know every so often they like to do the thing where they just like pin back and forth like 5 times, and it's just like
hard to predict if
really
that's going to happen for this.
Yeah.
I could see that happening, just with how much how annoyed both of these characters are at each other. I mean, honestly, 4 sounds like a pretty safe number, so I don't want to go too far from that.
You can pick the same number, but then it's not going to make a difference as to who wins.
Exactly.
So that's a choice you can make.
Yeah, we have to have that competition. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
There's no friendship here whatsoever. This is pure competition.
Very serious wrestling competition.
Yes. Yeah. So 6, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. And I will say, if there are no major kickouts, I'll instead count the number of times a submission has escaped. If there are no major kickouts, in case that does happen, but I don't think that will. All right. Our big boy, I would say, buy-in match: Penta Oscuro, Pac, and Eric Redbeard.
Hell yeah!
Versus the House of Black. This is
what a match!
I can't believe this is in the buy.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see this. Brett, you get to pick the winner. Who do you think, and why do you think, which team is going to head out of this match?
This is it's difficult, because I don't feel like this feud can truly end until Phoenix is back to defend himself. And that, combined with the fact that I'm pretty sure all of us here really like both of these teams.
Yeah, I would not be upset regarding whoever wins with this match, because they're both awesome.
So that makes it a very difficult choice, because both the personal bias and the who should win is skewed.
Add in the fact that every time Malachi Black loses, he cuts an incredible promo.
Exactly. So does it really feel like a loss? But that being said, he did just lose, and Malachi's reputation within the company is kind of built up that he is very difficult to take down. And obviously nothing against Eric Redbeard, but I think the house at this point will win.
Okay.
But I also don't think it's going to be the end of the feud.
Yeah.
By any means.
All right. Now, who do you think will be getting pinned in this? And for an additional bonus point, you can tell me who's going to do the pinning for both of you.
Ooh.
All right. So, Buddy Matthews just debuted his first match. I feel like it would be best for him to get the pin.
Okay.
Eric Redbeard is not signed to the company, to our knowledge. He's just making an appearance here. He could be, though. Maybe. We have nothing confirmed.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a graphic for him yet, I believe. So.
Penta just had a character change as well. Pac is Pac. So, I think Buddy Matthews will be pinning Eric Redbeard.
Okay. Brett, what are your thoughts on this?
I agree with Buddy Matthews pinning someone because he's the new guy. We know he's signed, and they definitely want to give him some street cred for people that maybe haven't seen him before. I feel like I just get the vibes that sometimes they have in these tag matches they just have like that third guy that's like not going to be here super long, and he's very at the end of the day he's very clearly just like the helper, and he just kind of like is there in the match but doesn't end up getting pinned or whatever. Every so often Pac gets pinned and it makes me upset, so I think that's gonna happen.
You think Buddy Matthews is gonna pin Pac?
Yeah, I could see it happening.
Okay, I like the gumption.
Just to say something different.
I think, no, I think that can also make sense because I feel like if they're gonna be doing like their own separate things, I feel like Pac and Buddy Matthews would be like a one-on-one, and then Penta and Phoenix could go up against Malachi Black and Brody King once Phoenix is back. So I think that's like also like a good division within the teams themselves to go into separate feuds.
I can also just imagine the crazy promo fight that Pac and Malachi would have if that happens about everything that's already happened with House of Black.
Oh yeah,
very fun. All right, so I've listed our Revolution matches in an order I think is not what's going to happen, but in kind of order of how difficult I think some of these are to call, as well as ascending order of the championships being the last thing we're going to look at. So our first match, Matt Hardy, Andrade El Idolo, Isaiah Cassidy versus Sting, Darby, and Sammy Guevara. Can they coexist?
Can they
I don't, especially after last night, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Ryan, this is your call. Who do you think is winning this match?
So the HFO is a really weird storyline going on right now. Andrade is a really weird guy right now, all things considered, within what he's been doing. As much as I love him, he hasn't been doing exactly much. You know, he came in.
He comes in, looks super impressive, and then loses the match.
And then loses, yeah.
Pretty consistently.
So, he had, again, the match last night, Sammy won, Andrade, it lost pretty decisively. And again, I think something needs to happen here. I think Andrade needs some sort of momentum.
Okay.
The problem is you're going up against Darby, Sammy, and Sting.
Yeah.
But can they coexist?
So yeah, I feel like if the Darby team is going to lose, it's definitely going to be due to tensions between Darby and Sammy. I feel
for sure, yeah.
And not getting into rumors or anything, but I mean, someone's certain brother,
Matt Hardy's been behaving erratically.
Yeah, is going to be debuting probably within 4 days. That's when he's like freed up. So because like in one mind, if we're thinking that Jeff is gonna come here and be like, oh, AHFO loses, Matt goes even more insane, Jeff Hardy comes in, right? But Andrade really needs something, man.
I mean, is Jeff Hardy's no compete up?
The 9th.
Yeah, so it's not up for Revolution itself. So
no, but I'm thinking like if something does happen, like with
maybe
with
this
Matt
like
Hardy
splits
losing,
Matt Hardy from the AHFO.
The AHF, yeah.
All right. So who do you think's taking that?
Against my better judgment here, because I just really want him to do something. I think the AHFO is gonna win because of the coexisting issue, but I'm not. That is not with my full confidence. That's not going with my brain. I think that's just mainly going with my heart here because I just want Andrade to do something. Yeah,
he really does. Yeah.
Especially because he looks so good in all of his matches.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. Same question as to last time. Who's pinning who in this predicament here? 1 point per correct guess of person being involved in this pinning predicament. Or submission predicament, same thing.
I feel like no matter what happens, I just because he's Sting is out of the equation for this. I feel like I don't know if the other people in this match really have that authority to to pin him, so I feel like that's just safe to check off the list because I mean AEW treats him AEW treats him like a god, as he kind of deserves it at this point. It's a tough question because
Are you of the same mind as Ryan that AHFO is going to win this match?
I think so, just because they had such an emphasis last night on the whole can they coexist thing,
Yeah.
which is in a very like, I mean, it's hard to ignore kind of way. And I think it would be weird also if it wasn't Andrade that got the pin, because Matt Hardy has, he clearly has other plans that are gonna come to fruition after this, that he will be able to do cool things in. Um, but like both Sammy and Darby is just like it's a weird, because they're both so good. Which
Yeah,
one of
it's
them is
hard to
gonna
see
take
them
it?
getting. I mean, Darby has eaten a fair number of pins before
Yeah.
because he does do the over aggressive thing where you can kind of sell that he's really good, but kind of goes a little too far and hurts himself.
hmm
So
Let's
that's a
say
possible thing.
I'll go with this logic, because Sammy screwed over Darby last night, right?
Yeah.
We'll say that Darby will get Sammy back or whatever and do something that gets Sammy pinned by
Okay.
Andrade, that sort of thing.
All right, Ryan, what is your thoughts on this?
I think the same, actually. I think Andrade is going to be pinning Sammy Guevara.
Okay.
Darby gets back at Sammy for, messing up with him last night.
Yep. And I could see them building that into a further title feud in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I definitely think Andrade is due for at least a TNT run, if not a world
Mm-hmm.
title run. So I think that's on the cards, although I do wonder if it's Sammy's going to be the one holding it. All right.
Yeah.
After that, get our big personal feud out of the way. Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston.
It's gonna be a good match.
Chris
I'm
Jericho is
excited.
in like startlingly good shape now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
All right. So, Brett, this is your pick on who's taking this match home. Does Eddie need the win?
I think on a surface level, I think it's very easy to say that Eddie needs the win. But also, in a storytelling level, I think Eddie needs the win, as in he's been going down this downward spiral for a while now. And not too much attention gets brought to it like all the time. But like every so
Occasional
often they'll
hints.
bring up like stress eating, and like just like not taking good care of himself, and all the other people that he feuds with just like making fun of him, putting him down and stuff like that. And it's as heartbreaking as it is. I mean, it's very interesting. And AEW's been very good with this emotional storytelling in the past, with like Hangman and Kenny and the Bucks being a really good example of that.
Yep.
So while I do think, people have beaten Chris Jericho before, I think, unfortunately for our man Eddie's sake, he's got to go further down the spiral in order for him to come back out stronger at the end of the day.
So Chris Jericho, the maybe sports entertainer, according to
yes
trademark rumors,
and Impractical Joker.
Yeah, he is the Impractical Joker.
All right, so Chris Jericho takes it. Ryan, I know you're locked into Eddie Kingston winning this, but what are your thoughts on who's taking this home?
So here's the thing. Let's go back in time to a little independent promotion back in the day called Shikara in 2010-ish, 2011-ish. There was a feud between two people that is a very similar idea of this feud over respect and getting like shaking someone's hand. That is between Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli or Cesaro. And this is a very similar. I've been getting very similar vibes to this the entire time. Mainly because Eddie Kingston is in there, and it's literally about respecting, shaking hands. It's a little bit different this time around because like compared to back then, the Eddie Kingston and Claudio just hated each other. They didn't respect each other. This is more like, they don't respect each other, but like, Chris Jericho is also like a huge superstar technically in the world of wrestling compared to what Eddie like was, and that's what they brought up, right? Like, I've done all this, I shouldn't respect you, because all that stuff. So I'm getting very similar vibes with this feud to that, and if I remember correctly, Eddie did not win, like pretty much at all. I think he won once, but the thing is here though is I even really want Eddie to win this, and as much as it would make sense to like have like Chris win this and then the feud continues from there, I just really want Eddie just to win it because he hasn't. Looking back at his previous pay-per-view records, he's not doing so hot, Full Gear was a loss. All In was a loss. Double or Nothing was a loss. So yeah, not like I don't think Eddie Kingston has won a pay-per-view match at all.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I can't remember him winning. So
I really want him to win last year.
Nobody won. Nobody won.
Nobody won that. So I mean, like, regardless, even though it may not make the most sense story-wise, I would want Eddie Kingston to win this because I think he not only deserves it, but I feel like also like it would be interesting to see. Maybe Chris Jericho fakes him out. Like he goes into like shake, like Eddie wants his handshake, and maybe like Chris Jericho just low blows him or like something like that, and then it just continues.
I'm going to bring up the cursed name. Velveteen Dream had a feud with Aleister Black, and look, Velveteen Dream not a good person, did some bad stuff, but that feud was very good, and it was the whole "Say My Name" thing, where Dream lost, but it was still like a visual win for both of them because of Black saying his name. So I could see something like that being Eddie Kingston's route of Kingston wins, but gives the handshake, and then Chris Jericho goes all crazy influencer, and then does the full heel turn. Kind of been teased. So I could see that being a possible ending. Now, I do want to ask, does Jake Hager get mentioned or come out during this match?
I hope not.
Yeah. They've done a pretty good job as of late of avoiding it.
All right, so
I don't know
Jake
why
Hager
they would
mentioned.
stop.
Do Santana and Ortiz come out and help one of these wrestlers? Or like just be in their corner?
Yeah, maybe not help, but like show up and do what the
Young Bucks thing.
Yeah, with the Young Bucks thing where they just like kind of express their concern and that they might be like torn or something like that.
I can see that too, especially with them coming out. Was it on Dynamite this week? And they're talking with Jericho, and like, something's going on there. I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. After this, we have our Face of the Revolution ladder match.
Oh boy,
this
is a big boy match.
A big boy match. Wardlow, Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Orange Cassidy, and Christian Cage in this match. Ryan, I believe this is your pick.
It is. A lot of interesting people in this match. Keith Lee just debuted as well.
Yep.
Orange Cassidy, everyone loves him. Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks, Team Taz gives them, team kind of been on the back burner, I'd say. So be nice to see them. Nice seeing them doing some stuff. Wardlow has had a lot of storyline progression with MJF as of right now, and if you win, you can keep the title. And Christian Cage, the first match in a while, like besides like obviously the match he just had to qualify, like first match in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them have been. Like,
it's been
January.
a while since I think Christian Cage's last like high profile match was against Kenny Omega. So
yes,
but I think like in December or something they had like a tag match. It was like it was them versus Adam Cole and the Redragon or whatever. I don't remember. So a lot of ways you can go from here. Because didn't Tony Khan also say something to the idea that like it's going to be Scorpio Sky is going to be like
Yeah,
in
he's
the
been alluding
match?
to Scorpio Sky is in line for a TNT title shot, if not like
Yeah,
having the TNT title for a while. So,
like that, or like saying like there's going to be some sort of like contract signing, and whoever wins this is also like
Scorpio Sky has a TNT title match before any of the people in this ladder match get one. Was the agreement that they made. So the next TNT title defense is going to be the current TNT champion versus Scorpio Sky.
Okay, yeah. Then, so like looking down this list, I don't think Christian Cage would win the ladder match and then not win.
Yeah,
especially because Christian Cage is kind of like stepped away from singles for right now and is with Jurassic Express. It'd be a little odd to have him suddenly go on a TNT run.
Yes. Wardlow would make a lot of sense considering the story that they're going with right now. But like, what if like Sean Spears comes out and like messes him over? You know, like
Wardlow would make just as much sense winning or losing depending on what happens.
Yeah, depending on what's actually going on in the match. Ricky and Powerhouse could win, but they already got a feud with Keith Lee if they don't win. And the same thing with Keith Lee. If he doesn't win, it's obvious that Ricky, it seems like something's going on with Ricky and Hobbs.
I could see them all causing each other to lose, basically.
And you know, Orange is there.
Orange is there.
He hasn't figured out how to climb yet.
No.
So he doesn't have a chance.
Do we have character progression? Does Orange learn how to climb a ladder?
It could be.
So this is I feel like this is a very hard thing to call.
Yeah.
I think it would make the most. I don't even make the most. I'm gonna flip a coin essentially in my head. My two choices are either Keith Lee or Wardlow, and I'm gonna choose one right now. Essentially, I think it's gonna be Keith Lee, mainly just because he debuted. You can push him up like there, push him up pretty fast, and like I mean, why wouldn't you want to put a championship on a guy like this as well? With how impressive he is. But again, it's really I think it's either between them and Wardlow, and then Wardlow for the obvious reasons with how much story stuff's going on with him. But yeah, that is my guess here.
And I could see them doing something in the future with if Wardlow loses this match, Scorpio Sky wins the title at some point. Wardlow gets the title from Scorpio. And then you have the issue of, okay, well, you didn't win it at the Revolution ladder match, so it's mine with MJF. I could see that being a possible route to take with that storyline. We'll see. Brett, you got 5 more choices to pick from here.
I know, yeah. But I do agree with Ryan's overall case here. Because either way, whether Keith Lee wins or loses, I mean, he's going to have that immediate feud with Team Taz, which is going to be great because Team Taz has a lot of great wrestlers in it that Keith is going to have some proper matches with.
Yeah.
And who knows whether win or lose? Because again, I don't think like Orange is just there to do something funny in like the middle or whatever, and that's his character. They showed him coming out for the assist for Keith. Was that was that yesterday?
Yesterday was Keith's match. So
yes, yeah. So I don't know. I honestly, if you're gonna have Orange come out for the assist with you against 2 guys, I mean, I could see like just a fun one-time tag match or something between Orange.
That would be
Keith,
pretty great.
It would be pretty funny in the future. But I think because Ryan, you said Keith Lee, I'm going to say Wardlow. Because I don't think he's a guy that needs the belt for very long. He just needs to have it to prove that he can get it, and that like sets his whole relationship with MJF on fire, pretty much. that he even got a belt before Majeff could at all. And yeah, his storyline is just like ramping up right now too. So I feel that it's his time.
All right. Does Shawn Spears make an appearance in this match before the bell rings?
Well, he does have
at
to
ringside. So doing something near the ring.
He does have to make his annual pay-per-view appearance.
Yes.
So he could be starting early this year.
I can see him coming out during the match.
Okay, so that's a yes from both of you. Now, I got one more for this. How many people or things does Keith Lee throw during this match?
Oh, man. Well, if we take a look at the lineup here, there's no way he's going to beal someone like Hobbs or Wardlow.
Yeah.
He could probably do it to Christian Cage, but I don't know. I think Christian may be a little bit hesitant on that.
Thrown.
So it would have to be Ricky or Orange.
I could see both of them okaying and getting thrown.
Yeah. I have another question. Because
I'm counting ladders.
Well, okay, with ladders too. Let's finish this up. I want to bring something else about this ladder match. Yeah, Keith Lee's gonna probably like chuck a ladder at somebody, huh?
Or just like push someone off and they like go outside the ring or something.
And they explode, yeah.
And they just burst into flames.
To count someone as being thrown, I need upper body. They are leaving contact with Keith Lee in the air for more than like half a second, right?
Yeah, like air time.
I think he's gonna do it once, probably, to somebody. I don't know if he's gonna do it twice, but definitely once. And then for ladder, yeah, I can see him like at least throwing maybe 2.
Okay, so 3 throws total for you.
Yeah.
How many throws, Brett, do you think Keith Lee is gonna have?
And
I'll pick whoever's closest, so you can be over under on this.
Yeah. If he's siding with Orange, I don't see him throwing Orange unless I don't know how you accidentally throw somebody across the room.
Fastball special, throw Orange at someone as an attack.
Ooh. Now you're giving me ideas. I could see him throwing Ricky and then maybe like one big like, oh, there's no way he could possibly throw Powerhouse Hobbs or something, but then he does it anyway. Like one big like, oh my god, I can't believe Keith Lee does that, because there's like one of those every time he does something, because he's that awesome. I'm gonna go with 4 combined with the ladder throws.
Okay, Keith Lee throwing 4 times over the course of this match. All right, our next Ryan, did you still have something you wanted to say with this match?
I did. I guess not for this match in particular, but usually a staple of every AEW pay-per-view thus far has been a surprise appearance.
This is true.
Do you think somehow someone will worm their way into this ladder match?
Who do we have on the table right now? That would be an important surprise appearance.
Cesaro.
Yeah, Cesaro could show up. Yeah.
Swerve. Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Absolutely.
Especially with things that they've been teasing. Those are the main 2 ones that I had on my mind. I think it'd also be really funny if Cesaro debuted here and he won the match, where the whole objective is to climb the ladder match and grab the brass ring, which is...
I would love it if that happened, especially because of how unexpected that is.
Yeah,
because like that's the whole thing, right? Like that's like Vince always said, "Oh, Cesaro doesn't have what it takes to like grab the brass ring." In that interview he did with like Stone Cold Steve Austin forever ago. So I think it'd be really funny if he did do that. But
is this the time for that? Yeah. I do wonder. I think Swerve's character right now is more in line with being able to show up and get himself into a ladder match all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I think that's more viable from me, but I would love it if Cesaro showed up and just involved himself in this match.
Well, we also have all like any of the ROH guys that are still on the table that, maybe they just left or whatever because of what, ROH did a while ago where they had that big like going away show sort of thing. But I mean,
Yeah.
Tony bought the equivalent of the company that they used to be in. So I mean, if they're still interested, I could see them
like a Gresham,
showing up.
maybe.
Yeah,
like
Gresham, totally.
Yeah, totally possible. All right. Moving on to the Tag Team Championship triple threat between Jurassic Express, Red Dragon, and the Young Bucks. Brett,
Man,
this is your pick.
First of all, this match is going to be like insane. And this doesn't go for like 45 minutes. I don't know what they're doing because like this is we have, the first big Bucks match in a while cuz they were out for multiple reasons for a little bit. I'm just excited in general because this is going to be super great. All these teams are really really fun to watch. But yet again, can they coexist, but different this time because it's two different teams. They're supposed to be friends, but they're not really, and they really don't like each other. And I think just with their uh, propensity to screw people over, I think the Bucks and Red Dragon will end up screwing each other over substantially enough to where Jurassic Express retains.
Okay.
Because it's hard to see like where Red Dragon in AEW hasn't had very many matches as a team together with just them. Because for a while it was just Bobby Fish in the company, and he had a couple matches with Adam Cole and someone else was in the mix there at one time, I think. And just for like a standpoint of someone who's only seen them in AEW, doesn't feel like it's time. Like they haven't made their mark enough to have like a belt yet. Even
it feels
if
like
they
need to
deserve
get
it.
outside of the Adam Cole and Young Bucks bubble.
They need to be around for a while longer, have some more matches. Not saying that they're like not deserving as wrestlers at all. Like they're great teams. Just they haven't been in the company as long, nearly as Jurassic Express and the Bucks already had the belts, and Jurassic Express. It doesn't feel like it's time for them to lose it yet. They're not really in the middle of a big feud.
I'm gonna throw
right now.
Max Caster into the mix, Brett, because the Acclaimed have been the #1 tag team for a while, and I think if you want the Acclaimed to have a title run for any length of time, I don't think they can credibly take it from the Young Bucks or Red Dragon.
Yeah.
But from Jurassic Express, I could see some shenanigans happening where Acclaimed get a title run for like a couple weeks and then get stomped. I think would be very fun. Because
everybody loves the Acclaimed.
Everybody loves the Acclaimed. So that's my like logic of why I think Jurassic Express is going to retain, is because I think they want to do a program with the Acclaimed, and it's going to be hard to do if Red Dragon and the Young Bucks are the top right now.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan.
And this could also just like open up Young Bucks versus Red Dragon, just them kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a feud that doesn't need a title. Young Bucks, Red Dragon. Ryan, who do you think, aside from Jurassic Express, could take this match home?
I want Red Dragon to take it home. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I
think the Bucks are the least likely because they've had a really solid title run. So
I feel like if Red Dragon does win this, they got those shows coming up in California pretty soon. Red Dragon holds it till there. They have a tag title match in California. Maybe the Bucks win it again there. That seems like something that the Bucks would want to happen.
Okay.
So whatever pull that they may have, and not saying they're like ego like maniacal or whatever, but like first show in California.
Yeah.
The Bucks have done, PWG and everything, made it in California. I think it'd be pretty cool to see that. So yeah, if because I kind of agree. I think Jurassic Express is probably going to retain, but if not, and I wanted to see Redragon hold it, and then maybe until a California show where the Bucks win it off of them.
Okay.
Because maybe by that time as well. Maybe at that time as well, the Bucks would go through some character changes, and same with like Redragon and all that. So maybe like the Bucks start to turn face again. Maybe Cole and Red Dragon just kicks them out. Who knows?
I would love to see a like trios match with Adam Cole and Red Dragon, and then Hangman Page and the Bucks.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So Red Dragon takes it. Same question as the other big tag matches here. Who's pinning who in this match? Or submitting?
Ooh.
A lot of options.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be going with, if I'm gonna be sticking with my pick that I did, I'm gonna see Kyle O'Reilly pinning Jungle Boy.
Okay.
I think for mine, I mean, Luchasaurus is just there to beat people up hard enough that Jungle Boy can finish them off. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
I cannot remember the last time the camera showed him pinning, but it's fine because he doesn't have to. Because
he does a crazy spot where he throws someone off a cliff and then follows them down.
Does like a just a backflip from a standing position, and it's just like he's 20 feet tall. How do you do that?
And he goes,
yeah, and he goes apples.
I was talking with Brett about this. He was very wet on his last night. He was like, he came out sopping wet. Very noticeable.
Oh my god. I think it's Jungle Boy is gonna pin.
Who here can afford to eat a pen?
I'm gonna say Bobby Fish. I know my friend Ryan is a Bobby Fish stan. I'm sorry to say. I know he's fuming right now, but purely without logic and just because it was just it doesn't really feel
because
like
you personally hate Bobby Fish.
Is what I'm trying to say.
All right. So with your personal hatred of Bobby Fish, let's talk about our next match. It's Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley.
Ooh.
Ryan, you get first pick on this one.
Dude, I have no clue.
This is a hard one to get.
I mean, okay. Let's see. I think Brett may have to go choose this one first.
Yeah, but Ryan's dogs seem to have their own ideas about the match.
Okay. Well, Brett, I'll let you have first pick then.
I also do agree this is a really hard choice, so it's not like I'm going to have any easier of a time picking. Because this whole feud is a super interesting idea where it's like even no matter who wins, there's still that chance that they could team up, because the whole point of the only way Mox wants to team up with Bryan Danielson is if they bleed together, and that just means anything. It just no one person has to win. And because of that, I don't think it really honestly matters that much.
I do think to me it would have more of an effect if Danielson is the one getting pinned, because that would be like a big story in my mind.
And that would be big for Mox too. But I know also, because this was meant to be Ryan's pick, and I know Ryan is very, very strong about Danielson, I'm going to say Mox is going to win, so that my assumption of what Ryan wants to happen he can talk about now that his dogs are done screaming.
Yeah, because that's interesting. Because I was actually, now that like I'm saying, oh, you stole my pick, but that's the thing is, no, Moxley came back. I could see Moxley winning first big match since coming back. But that's the same again. Like with the story of everything going on, I don't think it really does matter who wins or loses this. It's either Bryan beats him, John says yes. John beats him, John says yes. It all depends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Bryan just lost recently. John's coming back from after his being away for a bit. John hasn't lost yet. Bryan lost recently. I could see Bryan winning this, but again, I don't think at the end of the day it really does matter. But yeah,
Could be a tie.
it could. Ooh, yeah, maybe.
That'd be a tough
Maybe
one.
another,
I could
maybe
see this
like
being the rare double count out.
ooh, yeah, something like that, or maybe like a double pin sort of situation, where
Yeah.
like it's not clear who's like shoulders like on what or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Danielson. Yeah, because I was gonna pick him originally, but I think Danielson maybe wins and then tries to get something out of here.
All right.
But this is gonna be a really good match.
For sure, yeah.
Now, question for both of you: do you think they form their little coalition of trainees after this match?
I want it to happen.
I feel like that's a massive
Yeah.
Chekhov's gun that Tony Khan just pointed at us. You can't like tease that and then not do it.
Yeah. The only thing going against it is that Mox has a history of like being offered spots and teams, and he's just kind of too much of a lone wolf, and he doesn't really do that sort of thing. Which is why, I mean, that caveat is how you get people to believe that there's a chance he won't do it in the first place.
Yep.
But I think it also would just be really, really cool because I mean, you see the signs. That when the 12-person AEW security team shows up and it's like, man, this didn't happen like 3 weeks ago. There's probably a lot of people that just got out of training that are like ready for like TV time in some regard that are just like we got to clear up some space on Dark first or something like that.
Yeah.
And that I don't know. It's
Maybe this
it
is a
opens
way
up.
to get these two onto Dark in like a mentor role.
Yeah,
Makes a little
something
bit more
like that.
sense.
And to get some more of the smaller guys out into, crazier matches on TV. Or like just have it be like, oh, these guys are really, really bad mentors because they just want to kill their their students because they're pushing them too hard or something like that. It opens up the gates for a lot of interesting different stories that you could do with it. So I hope it happens.
All right.
I was gonna say, what would be wacky? Going back to man we talked about earlier. What if like they offer it and then like Cesaro comes out from behind and like attacks like Mox or whatever, and then
The brass ring.
it's Danielson and Cesaro like together as a tag team, or maybe all three of them. That'd be crazy. I really want to see Cesaro on AEW. That's.
that'd be... I love the like fever dream way in which you're having him be introduced. This is really just throw him at the pay-per-view and see what happens.
Yeah, because I mean, like that makes Cesaro's a big technical guy. It'd fit.
And he can be goofy if you need to have a goofy entrance.
Yeah, and William Regal comes out too.
William Regal is my like. I want William Regal to be involved somehow.
That's awesome.
All four of them just like training a bunch of people. That'd be sick.
Be incredible. You have me in on this now, Ryan. You convinced me that's happening. All right. So for our prop bet for this one, how many distinct submission holds does Bryan Danielson get in one chain wrestling sequence?
A lot.
This is because it's bound to happen, right? You don't put these two in a match and not have that happen.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you have him against Mox, who's like he's not gonna tap out very easily, if even at all.
How many things does Danielson have to try?
It's exactly.
I'm going with 6.
All right. Remember, this is in a single sequence, so not split across multiple.
No, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's possible. So I want to go crazy just to like 10 or something, but there's no way it's 10. Because if we're counting like in one sequence, maybe there's like a lot of like splits or whatever. I'm gonna say 3.
Okay.
Three different holds in one combo.
All right. And yeah, as long as there is no point at which they are laying on the ground like separated, I'll count that as one sequence. As long as it's like
makes sense,
near constant contact for a while, even if they do like separate for a moment. All right. after this, I have our first women's match. TBS Championship, Jade Cargill versus Ty Conti. Ryan, this is your pick now.
I hope Ty gets new entrance this time
So
because
do
she
I.
really needs one that's more than just her name and green.
I feel like that's like the biggest thing holding her back from winning a championship right now, honestly.
Yeah.
Her entrance is very basic.
That I think it'd be cooler if she did kind of lean into the like fact that she's like a judo expert.
Yeah, master judoka.
Yeah, you know,
a big accolade.
Yeah, she just kind of runs out and smiles a lot, which isn't bad. You know, she's a very pleasant person, but it'd be cool, like a killer instinct sort of deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think they're taking the title off of Jade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the right time.
Not the right time. And, you know, I feel like, you know, it's had a bit of development, not the most. It's more like Tay Conti came out and, you know, she wanted a match. Jade said yes.
Mm-hmm.
So not a lot of story implications going on in here.
Yeah.
Just, you know, maybe just trying to show like how awesome Jade is because she's awesome. So yeah, you know, I think it's safe to assume Jade's gonna win. But you know, there could be like something wacky happening maybe after the match. Like maybe someone like debuts or whatever and like shows to be next in the title, like line to go after Jade. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Jade's gonna win.
All right.
That's a pretty easy call, I think.
Okay. Now, because I think there's a lot of different things that could happen in this match, and not a lot of guaranteed things. Does anyone here have a prediction of a sequence or something that is going to happen during this match that they feel is worth an extra point? And also add, does Anna Jay appear during this at all?
I think so. I don't know if in like a helping Ty Conti cheat kind of way, but definitely just for like friendship's sake, that sort of thing. If I don't know if they're still going with this angle because I feel like it's been forever since they.
I mean, they were with each other when Ty attacked Jay.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the angle of Ty Conti being absorbed into the Dark Order sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
So if they do still want to go with that and Ty loses, you know, having Anna Jay there to be like, oh, like no, this is another reason for you to join us, kind of thing.
Hey, that's how she gets. If she gets her new entrance because of that, pretty good.
That sounds great. Yeah. I think. Because it's happened multiple times where you kind of think, oh, well, this has to be longer than like 2 minutes for a match with Jade because the person that she's going against isn't a jobber. I think in terms of something like point worthy, I think that this is probably going to be the match where we see Jade struggling the most. Because most of the time, even with her other matches for the belt in the first place and stuff, it doesn't really seem like she has all that much difficulty, just like shaking most damage off and stuff. But now, you know,
I guess the best way to ask that
really
is it a convincing clean win, or is this more of a rough finish?
I think it's more rough than clean, because it's about time for Jade to kind of have something like that happen. I think.
Especially because, like, if she cleanly handles Ty, who is there to make her struggle, right?
Yeah.
Because there's very few. Ty is still in that upper tier of women's wrestlers in AEW, so it's hard to then say like I could see Thunder Rosa, but we have another match with Thunder Rosa tonight, and depending on what happens there, she may or may not be involved at all with TBS title picture. So
yeah.
All right, Ryan. Anything you want to throw out for happening during this match?
I think Smart Mark Sterling was going to be ejected.
Okay. That's a good one. All right. Our next match. Dog collar match. CM Punk. CM Punk.
Kurt Angle comes up.
It's like the discount dollar store CM Punk. CM Punk versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman in a dog collar match. Brett, this is your call.
This, for me at least, I've talked with both of you guys about this. This is my most looked forward to match of the
Oh,
night,
yeah.
just because the promos leading up to it have been like
Nonstop gold.
yeah, I can't take my eyes off the screen, and it's like you see on paper like in the episode plan or whatever for Dynamite, Tony Khan just says CM Punk and MJF go out and talk for like half an hour straight, and you think that's probably going to be pretty boring. It's not.
Nope.
It is not at all. When you get me to feel like bad for like probably the best heel in the business right now, that is an achievement. And then of course he turns it around
Of course,
and
he cuts a promo about
becomes
how he's the devil himself.
devil himself, and it works somehow. It works. It's so good. Um, I'm dodging. I'm beating around the bush here by saying things about the match because this is a difficult pick. At least I think so,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
there's a lot. Again, no title in the picture here, but there's a lot riding here in terms of like respect and just like the relationship between these two guys. I mean, it's no secret that Punk is a huge inspiration for MJF in real life. They brought that
Yeah.
into the story pretty you know, significantly.
And Punk also did just
Um
cut a promo about becoming the monster that beats the monsters.
yes, yeah.
So there's a lot
Uh
of moving parts to this.
and it's just like their whole feud has been such a back and forth of winning legitimately and cheating and over again, and it hasn't been boring at all. Uh, and I don't think whatever happens here is going to be the end of it either. I don't
I mean,
think.
I wonder. I have to wonder, like, if somehow MJF loses and this leads into like a downward spiral with Wardlow defecting and a
Yeah.
bunch of other stuff. Do they play that up, or do they go the other way and play up that MJF is becoming more of a single star and doesn't need the Pinnacle anymore? There's so many
Hmm.
different directions you could take this that are all very interesting.
Yeah. Because they've alluded to it before that MJF definitely has a very much of an unstable side, especially when you look at like there's this one older video of him giving like a tour of his house or whatever, and it's just like perfect, pristine, and you hear people like talking upstairs. He's like, "Oh, don't pay attention to that," and he just like acts like a crazy person for the
Yeah,
entire thing. Uh, so just because of my interest in that alone, and seeing if this is finally where they'll like get into that more, especially with the last promos that he's done. I think I could see Punk coming out on top. Not like it's going to be an easy win.
yeah.
It's definitely not me saying that like, oh,
I mean, this
MJF
is
doesn't have a
like,
chance.
despite all the promos about violence that Moxley and Danielson cut, I think this is going to be the most violent match of the night.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is I unfortunately I could see someone getting like actually hurt from
Well,
this
it's like,
because again it's a dog
if you
collar
looked at
match.
CM Punk during the Rampage promo that just happened, he was like gushing blood at one point. Like to it, it's clear he's fine because there's a bunch of promos afterwards. You can't even really see the scar from whatever happened, but
Hmm.
it's clear something happened when they were either blading, or I wonder if they just straight up told Max to bite his head, and that's what
Yeah,
caused
because
the
that
blood.
was
Because that's what
really
it looked
super
like.
convincing.
Because I don't
Yeah,
know where they would have bladed if that's not what
yeah.
happened, because there wasn't really a moment that they could have hit it. So I wonder if that's what they did, and it just maybe hit a sore spot or something.
Hmm.
um, yeah, that was one of the most brutal looking things they've done. Man, that
Oh yeah.
shirt that they have with the bloody handprint over the photo, that's gold.
I want that shirt.
That is
Like they
pure
should just
gold.
make that. Yeah. And of course you see all the fan pictures and stuff of CM Punk being led backstage after, and he's got this big perfect white
Huge.
grin on his face.
Yeah.
He's just loving it. It's awesome.
Because the promo he cut about being a monster, he was bloody and like sitting on a table and just smiling, and it was
Yeah.
great. Like, man, this match has so much behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me Punk is going to take it.
All right.
Yeah, that, if I could go with Punk winning, I would, just because it makes sense. He gets the victory back over Max, and just with how
Yeah.
good the story is, it feels like he should after almost getting hung. But
Mhm.
yeah, um,
All right.
yeah, I can easily also see, like, even without me choosing Max because you chose Punk. I could still somehow see him winning, but it makes too much sense, I feel, for Punk to win. But no matter what, it's going to be really good. It's going to probably be really emotional.
Yeah.
It's going to be anything like what happened on Wednesday. It's going to be really bloody. And, I can't wait.
All right. So, prop bet for this one. How long does this match go? Because I think this is a hard one. Because this could be like a 15-minute banger of a match. Or it could go like over half an hour. Like, there's so many different directions I could see this happening.
Yeah.
35 minutes.
35 minutes?
I usually would say the longer match because I do fancy me with most things. I do fancy me some slow burns, and AEW's had a really good run with longer matches recently. But also some of my favorite matches in the company have been the ones where it's just like that was 10 minutes. That felt like an hour.
Yeah.
Where it's just like super crazy stuff, and it's just so like compact.
But I think it's important to point out we have like Danielson and Moxley on the card. I could see that being a long match comparatively.
We have a couple matches that could go on.
Yeah, Brit and Thunder
to
Rosa,
beyond a half an hour.
Both the Adam match.
Yeah.
Could certainly be lengthy. So
I'm gonna err on this one being a solid, compact, and very emotional 20 minutes.
Okay. All right, moving on. Actually, before we move on, I do want to ask both of you, what do you think CM Punk does after this? Where do you think CM Punk's like next storyline leads? Even if this is the conclusion, isn't the conclusion of the MJF feud. After MJF, what do you see CM Punk doing?
I think going after the title.
Yeah, going after a belt.
I think he's been playing up the helping young guys at this point, but this feels like the end to that to me.
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving now into CM Punk's like a big push.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Next match, our second to last on this list, Women's Championship, Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. Does Britt finally drop the belt, Ryan?
I want her to, as much as I like Britt. I think it's time for someone else to have the belt for a bit. I think it makes sense too with, thematically, it's been about a year or so, like almost to the day, where they had their lights out match. And I think it just fits.
It also feels like Britt's faction is kind of falling apart at the same time.
I heard some rumors that Thunder Rosa may be working hurt. So I don't know if that would be the smartest thing to put it on her right now.
I'll also point out Thunder Rosa and the AEW backstage vehemently denied those as soon as they went live. So it's hard to tell of if that denial is a story thing just to make sure that there's still tension going into this match, or if Thunder Rosa is actually fine. So hard to tell.
If we're going with what AEW is telling us, then I think it's time for Rosa to have the belt. Britt's had it for long enough.
Yeah.
Have Britt go on and do other things, start to feud with maybe the rest of her group, like with Jamie and stuff like that, and go from there.
I want to see some angry Britt promos after her losing the belt. Just going on a rampage. I think that would be very fun. All right. Brett, you got Britt winning.
I do.
What do you think about that?
Which is unfortunate because I agree with Ryan. But if at the same time, I think if Britt did win, I don't think it's the end of the world. But again, at the same time, if someone's going to take it off her, it's going to be Thunder Rosa. But yeah, I don't know, and it could still happen, and it could still be satisfying because again, with this company, just random stuff can occur that just isn't on the table, and it's just, oh, I didn't know I wanted that, but I guess I do now because it's pretty good. But yeah, in my heart, I know that it's the end for DMD probably.
All right. So I gotta ask: does Mercedes Martinez interfere in this match? I feel like we know someone on Brit's side is going to, right? They always do.
Yeah.
Some light interference from either Rebel or Hater.
Do we count interfering as like
I'll count
someone...
a fight at ringside as well.
Yeah.
With someone not in the match.
That's what I want to lean towards, just to kind of paint more Thunder Rosa as like the more obvious face. Probably it would be a little better not to have,
it doesn't need like cheating,
a win with cheating.
But
because Thunder Rosa also doesn't need counter cheating, well planned counter cheating.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I feel like Mercedes comes out if Brit starts to have their people start cheating.
Okay. Does Britt Baker's faction implode a little bit tonight or tomorrow night? Do we see some Jamie Hayter properly splitting off from the faction?
I think it's time.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Okay. So our final match, big match of the night: AEW World Championship, Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole.
Adam
Brett,
versus Adam.
You get to pick which Adam is gonna win.
Well, I think it's gonna be Adam.
Yep.
This one, I'm a little more. This is because I'm a big Hangman fan. This one is less. I'm confident this is gonna happen, and more. I'm a little kayfabe worried. Because I don't want my boy to lose.
This feels like an odd spot for Page to have dropped the title in, because he hasn't really had the big feud yet.
Yes, he's his big feud kind of started, and it wasn't so much of like a story feud as it was like these matches are just so good. Like this is like just absolute just classic wrestling. These matches are incredible. Like that defines the feud for him so far. But he doesn't. It's still just because he's wrapped around this semi-elite sort of thing. I feel like something still has to happen with Kenny or the Bucks while he's still champion to really just like, absolutely, if anything, solidify that being finished. Or at least the next step for that story, since they like to go a really long time with it, which is the right choice because it's really good. I want him to retain, and I think he will retain. Not that I don't see Adam Cole being a great champion in the future. It's just he's going up against a guy that has like unanimous fan backing as a face right now, and hasn't had the belt for super, like, he's had it for a while, but he hasn't had it for that big, like,
he hasn't had a ton of defenses, sort of, I think is
and it's also, you got to think, like, if Adam Cole gets the belt, I don't see like a super clear path of what he's immediately going to do after it, because I feel like with what's going to happen probably in the three-way tag match, he's going to have things to deal with there first.
Yeah, that's what I would agree with.
Yeah.
It feels like if Adam Cole wins this, I can't really see how they easily resolve the current elite situation in a way that makes sense for Cole to be defending the title against a variety of people. So that's my thought line with this. All right, so Ryan, you're stuck with Adam Cole winning this match, Adam Page losing. How do you feel about that?
I don't think that's necessarily the best thing to do right now, but let's face it. Adam Cole hasn't lost yet. Great wrestler. I feel like there would be a lot of interesting implications for him holding the belt, and with the eventual Kenny return. So maybe he holds it, and then Kenny returns, maybe around Double or Nothing, and that could be your big marquee match.
Yeah.
And then maybe, again, leading into the Red Dragon and Young Bucks stuff can implode,
I do wonder if Adam Page retains here and moves forward. The other problem I see is like, who right now is credible enough to take the title from Adam Page? And if you'd with him,
Punk.
CM Punk, absolutely. I think MJF is up there as well. I don't think we're gonna replay any or run back any title runs that have already happened. Mainly because there's so many people that are deserving of runs right now that I think getting one of them up there would be pretty important. But I do wonder if Adam Cole loses this defense, and then they run it back in a few months, Adam Cole gets the title, and then they play that up with Kenny returning, and then have this more history to the feud at that point.
Yeah,
I could see that being a future path where Adam Cole eventually wins, but probably not right now.
Yeah, because with my current mindset, I do think, I'm choosing Cole, but I do think Page winning would make the most sense. Punk wins tonight, then we can do Punk versus Hangman at Double or Nothing, and then eventually, let's say Punk wins it there, you can do Punk versus MJF for the title.
Absolutely.
Again. And then,
that's going to be a good match.
I do have to wonder when AEW is going to get its fighting champion run of like someone who is dropping the title a lot but getting it back. I feel like that's something that they could do soon.
Yeah.
So, because I think right now AEW's had a lot of really long title runs, which works well, but it feels like there's a couple of members of the roster that could really benefit from the shorter, kind of intermittent reigns.
Definitely, yeah.
That could definitely happen. I could see like some crazy thing with Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston just like dropping the title 2 or 3 times in a month against each other. That would be like a fun month-long program or something like that. All right. So I have to ask, do they run back the spot from the match with Adam Page and Kenny Omega where the Bucks come out after being beaten up in the last match the same night and stand in Page's corner? Are we going to see that again tonight?
I think it'd be interesting because the whole thing with Adam Cole and Red Dragon.
Yeah.
I feel like this would be a good time to play that back.
Yeah, because usually with especially like stuff that's very like implicative of big turning points and like an emotional storyline and anything. Just like repeating the same thing over and over can get really like, okay, why are we doing this again? But
this would be the 3
I think
of that.
This would feel like the right time. If anything, you could have it also be like whatever happens with Red Dragon. Maybe they come out to try to screw Hangman over, and then the Bucks come out maybe like after a while or maybe immediately, and it's like, oh my god, they were ready to come out to save Hangman really
Brett,
fast.
I think
That's
you just
weird.
showed where they could take this if Adam Cole wins is immediately like the next match is a rematch where it's a trios match between like Adam Page, the Bucks versus Adam Cole and Red Dragon. I could see that being a pretty impressive thing to do, especially if it's like an elimination tag match.
Yeah.
Something like that would be very, very fun. So you've convinced me there's at least a minor chance that Adam Cole wins here.
Anything can happen. It's true.
Yep. All right. So with this match, I gotta ask, how long do you think this match is gonna be?
I think it's gonna be like a tight 23 minutes.
All right. 23 minutes from Ryan.
Because I don't think every championship match that Hangman does has to go to an hour, even though again, like he kind of set the standard with the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, having just like crazy long matches. But it's probably no secret that that's more on the Bryan Danielson side than the Hangman side, because one of those people after those matches looked really tired, and it was not Bryan Danielson. Which is just, again, it's just crazy to me that you could do that for a whole hour and not look like even sweaty in the slightest almost. But I think just to like finish off the night, especially if you'd expect them to end with this as the main event. Something not too long. like 20, 25 minutes, that sort of thing.
Okay. So with that, we've gone over everything. Is there anything here that stands out to you as being match of the night material, aside from the dog collar match, I think? Because I think we all agree the dog collar match is going to be excellent. What's your, like, secret runners-up in terms of the match you're expecting to be something special?
I think Eddie and Chris.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
All right, you can choose it. You can choose it.
No, we can agree. It's okay.
Okay. All right.
Because I do think so. Depending on, I don't know if this is how you feel about it, but depending on how emotional they go with it, what like, even if it's like a slower pace, Eddie is really good with just like, with his like in ring like arguing and like facial expressions and stuff. With how much they tap into that and what happens, like whether the outcome is. That could be a real night stealer for me, because in past pay-per-views, even when Eddie has lost, those matches have been really, really, really good.
Yeah, they've all been
like
excellent.
surprisingly so. Yeah.
Like, I remember Eddie Kingston in the Boston show that I was at, loudest crowd of the night. Like,
I would imagine
that man got so much energy behind him, even though everyone knew he was gonna lose. It was a thing where you throw Eddie Kingston in there and everyone loves him. So I could see that happening. I gotta ask, with that match, do you think they're gonna play up? Because they've talked about Eddie Kingston's like body image before, and use that as a character thing. And Chris Jericho just got really in shape comparatively.
Oh my God, you're right.
He's ripped now. He has abs again. Do they play that at all in the story of this match? Does Chris Jericho taunt him with that at some point?
I can see so. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Any other matches we want to talk more about that are on this card, or wait until the after show? Because we will be doing an after show and talking about all of these after we've seen them.
I think we should wait till the after show. I think we've gone through everything quite thoroughly here.
All right.
Yeah.
So with that, then, we will see you guys probably sometime in the next 7 days after Revolution has happened, and we can record another episode to actually talk about it. We'll see you next time. AEW Wrestlecast happens when we want it to happen. There's no schedule for the show.
More when Tony Khan wants it to happen.
Yeah, more when Tony Khan does enough. Oh yeah, Cody Rhodes is gone now.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. The first pay-per-view without him, and it doesn't feel any different. It's weird.